What happened with the mysterious disappearance of the original version of Endless Possibility and its sudden re-emergence in the Sonic franchise? The history of Reach for the Stars and how this track from Sonic Colors nearly became Sonic's main theme in the 2010s, and the long-standing reference to Kamen Rider that's been in the Sonic title since 2011 and persists to this day. In this compilation of previously released content, we're delving into some of the music of modern Sonic and some of the Easter eggs left in the title. Let's get moving.
Cyclone Joker!
Sonic Unleashed was a massive turning point in the franchise. The title proved at the time to be the best looking outing for a Sonic game, and is still widely regarded by fans as the series' most beautiful work visually. Sonic would reach speeds never achieved before and kick off what would be known as the boost style of gameplay that would continue on for years to come. On top of it all was a soundtrack like no other, based around a story in which Sonic attempts to retrieve the Chaos Emeralds to rid himself of an evil entity, while also putting the scattered pieces of the planet back together due to an Eggman plot. The soundtrack is heavily influenced by different real-world countries that are lovingly given inspired levels and stages throughout the game. It's a grand scope, crafted with heart, and topped off by the main theme.
This is the real me. Pretty cool, huh?
Sonic the Hedgehog is no stranger to main themes with a rock edge, following tracks such as Live and Learn from Sonic Adventure 2, His World from Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, among many others. Sonic Unleashed would need a song that fit the spirit of the new adventure while also welcoming the new age of Sonic titles. Guitarist Tomoya Otani would ultimately lay down the main melody and feel of the track, creating a bass instrumental. No lyrics, no vocals, entirely the instrumentation on its own. Musician and also Sega veteran Jun Sonoe would then seek out the artists and musicians he felt would fit the project as a whole, one of which being Jared Reddick, lead singer of the band Bowling for Soup. Reddick at the time was in Japan performing shows and was asked to come in and not only lend his vocals to the track, but to write the song itself, lyric-wise. Impressed by what he had heard, Reddick wrote lyrics pertaining to the title Sonic Unleashed and sent it in, the song ultimately being named Endless Possibility. The lyrics capture the essence of the game's narrative in a strong way. It highlights Sonic's carefree yet ambitious nature, running across the world without regret, despite being unsure of what lies ahead. Though the planet has been split apart, it still continues to turn, regardless of its condition. Sonic would explore multiple continents throughout the title, while also fighting with the remnants of the game's villain, Dark Gaia, planted within him at night. Please wake me up when I get there. It feels like I'm lost in a dream. I know in my heart that it's my time, and I already see the possibilities are never ending. The song breaks down and becomes grittier near the latter half, referencing the werehog transformation Sonic endures as the moon rises. Afterwards, the track kicks back up again, representing a triumphant return to form. It not only can be interpreted as Sonic's victory against Dark Gaia and freeing himself from its hold, but also the character Chip, realizing the power he has as the opposing force to Dark Gaia and his ability to save the planet by sacrificing himself. I see it now, it's always been inside of me. The instrumentation is stellar and lends itself to being one of the more hard-hitting pieces in the Sonic franchise. As would eventually become standard, the melody can be heard in different forms, most notably during the final boss against Dark Gaia, in which it's wonderfully reimagined as an orchestral piece, every instrument working together to push the high stakes and importance of the world adventure that Sonic had just endured. where did it go? At the time of this recording, the original version of Endless Possibility is strangely missing when speaking of Sonic's vocal themes. The last known time Jared Reddick's vocal of the song was heard in official media would have been 2011's Sonic Generations, as it appeared as one of the unlockable tracks to be played during stages. Since then, it's been noticeably absent. It's a strange timeline of events, and one that goes as follows. Published by Wavemaster, Planetary Pieces Sonic World Adventure, the Sonic Unleashed original soundtrack, was released as a 3-disc set back in 2009, featuring 91 music tracks from the game including Endless Possibility. In 2011, Sonic Generations featured a wide variety of music tracks to be unlocked, including Endless Possibility among many others from the Sonic franchise. The soundtrack for Sonic Unleashed was re-released for the first time digitally in 2012, featuring each of the game's beautifully crafted music pieces, except for Endless Possibility. Later in 2020, Tomoya Ohtani confirmed via Twitter that the reason Endless Possibility specifically was unavailable through streaming services was a rights issue regarding the original track. During the 30th anniversary Sonic Symphony Orchestra show, Endless Possibility would receive a new arrangement by Tomoya Ohtani's band and be covered by artist Nathan Sharp. Then, in 2022's Sonic Frontiers, through the Jukebox update, allowing players to select and play various music from Sonic's history, such as Live and Learn, Open Your Heart, Reach for the Stars, and more. Endless Possibility was mysteriously and quietly omitted. Jared Reddick then also responded to a fan question via his TikTok page in 2023 about the making of the track, with the Nathan Sharp cover being played in the background.
I think there's a lot of Sonic fans out there, and it's really cool for me now because the Sonic movies are so huge right now, and for me to be able to say that I've done some stuff with the franchises is it's just one of those things that you're just like, man, I can't believe I did this, but very proud of that one.
Nothing has been outright confirmed, so please refrain from spreading anything as fact, but it's been speculated that the issue regarding the original song is due to writing credits. Despite both Reddick and Ohtani having great fondness for the track and its making to this day, Ohtani even going on to place it as his favorite song he's worked on for the franchise, it's possible that the issues lie higher up, outside of both musicians' hands. As of 2023, the only official ways of hearing the original version of this theme are through the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Nintendo Wii, and PlayStation 2 releases of Sonic Unleashed, the original release of the Planetary Pieces Sonic World Adventure soundtrack from back in 2009, and by selecting the track in 2011's Sonic Generations. Otherwise, the version created for the Sonic Symphony 30th Anniversary show is available for streaming digitally. Whether or not the original version will ever return, we thank Jared Reddick, Eric Chandler, Tomoya Ohtani, Jun Sonoe, and everyone involved for creating a lasting music piece that reverberates its importance in the legacy of Sonic the Hedgehog. The possibilities truly are never ending. A quick addendum. It is currently, at the time of this recording, November of 2024, and Sonic Shadow Generations has just released worldwide. And a lot of you came to the original video to come back and leave comments talking about how Endless Possibility has returned, and yes, I just played through it myself, and here's the footage of it. Endless Possibilities and its original version from Sonic Unleashed is still in Sonic Shadow Generations as part of the Sonic Generations portion. So we do know that at the very least it's not stuck in a legal limbo to where it couldn't return in this remaster of Sonic Generations. So it's really cool that it's back. And again, I thank everyone for coming back into the comments of the original video and saying, oh my gosh, it's back. Oh my goodness, it's back. So yes, Sonic, Endless Possibility is back. So there's that. On with the show. Sonic Colors was released in 2010 on Nintendo Wii and Nintendo DS. A continuation of the labeled 3D boost formula started by the previous Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Colors made its mark solidifying the gameplay fans enjoyed most from the previous outing in this format. With this release, Sonic Team would also find a way of connecting their Blue Speedster to one of the biggest superhero franchises in Japan. Ready when you are. Before we can delve into this bridge with the blue blur, we have to establish a base. Kamen Rider, or Masked Rider, a series beginning back in the early 70s, is part of the tokusatsu genre of filming. Tokusatsu being two characters that when put together means special effects filming. Tokusatsu nowadays is most notable for its intense choreography, monster battles, and heroes fighting evil while wearing usually colorful spandex and/or armor. Kamen Rider exploded in popularity, and since the year 2000, its parent company, Toei, would put out a brand new Kamen Rider series of usually 45 episodes every single year, with a new story, new collectible toy items, and new heroes. In 2009, the at the time newest series, Kamen Rider Double, would hit the airwaves. Double consisted of our protagonists, Hidari Shotaro and Philip, two detectives of a windy city who would come together to become two halves of one being, transforming into the town's hero, Masked Rider Double. One of Kamen Rider's most recognizable aspects is its tradition of having the heroes morph into their suits with extravagant belts, a tradition that's held strong to this day, having started all the way back in 1971. In the modern age, to increase the playability of their toy counterparts for kids, the manufacturer Bandai would begin adding small gimmick items to interact with the belt as well as signature voice clips to coincide with them. Because of this, the gimmicks would become integral to each new series' plot, and their functions and voice clips would carry over into the show themselves. This in turn would not only increase sales and interest whenever the show would introduce a new item, but would be unbelievably beneficial for marketing, as the voice clips now would become immediately recognizable and synonymous with the rider they belong to. In Kamen Rider Double, Shotaro and Philip morph into their hero state with their belt, known as the Double Driver, and items called Gaia Memories. The announcer for the Gaia Memories would be voice actor Tatsuki Fumihiko. To morph into Double, both Philip and Shotaro must tap the button on each memory they possess, Cyclone and Joker. Once inserted and activated, the driver would then state the memories' names again, but now with each their own signature jingle tagging along. Cyclone Joker! Heat Metal! Luna Trigger! Across Kamen Rider Double, there would be over 100 different memories, each with the same idea carried over, and many, many, many different colors. Like how I did that? Alright, bet. Check this out. Just 1 year later in 2010, Sonic Colors would hit store shelves, and through its story, introduces a new alien race known as the Wisps. The Wisps possess their own powerful abilities, prompting Dr. Eggman to overrun their planet and harvest them for their energy. These abilities are known as color powers. As Sonic runs throughout the world, he'll encounter new Wisps, each with their own designated color and ability. These being Cyan Laser, Yellow Drill, Pink Spike, Blue Cube, Orange Rocket, Green Hover, and Purple Frenzy, as well as the White Boost, allowing Sonic to receive a burst of speed. As the player activates each color power, this happens. Each color power is followed by its own name callout, reminding the player of their abilities. This callout remains constant, ringing out each and every time a Wisp is used. The announcer for the color powers is also the announcer for the entire game, which in the American release would be Sonic the Hedgehog's at the time new voice actor, Roger Craig Smith. These announcements immediately set Tokusatsu fans in motion, making comparisons between the callouts for the color powers and the transformation announcements from Kamen Rider. With Kamen Rider, the announcer often would not only voice the rider's belt and toy gimmicks, but surrounding outlets as well, including commercials for the show and at times TV spots. As is the case for Sonic Colors, wherein Roger would voice both the announcements for the color powers, but also clips relating to different points of the game. Unlimited color! There would even be a clip added for when the player activated Super Sonic. If this weren't enough, Sonic Colors' Japanese release would of course also have its own announcer for these segments. However, instead of it being Sonic's Japanese voice actor, it would instead be Tatsuki Fumihiko, the same man that voiced the Gaia Memories in Kamen Rider Double, the show that premiered 1 year prior, and he announces the Wisps in the exact same voice. During the final boss against the Nega Wisp robot, Sonic assembles each color power together, activating a final move labeled the Final Color Blaster.
Final Color Blaster!
This move in and of itself serves as a partial reference to the finishing move of Kamen Rider Double's final form, Extreme, known as the Bicker Illusion. Since Sonic Colors in 2010, the franchise has yet to take part in any real collaboration with Kamen Rider. Even still, the Wisps remain an homage to the superhero franchise that holds strong to this day. The Wisps would appear in multiple Sonic titles following Colors, including Sonic Generations, Sonic Lost World, Sonic Forces, and 2019's Team Sonic Racing. After Sonic Generations, each title featuring the Wisps in foreign releases would follow in the steps of Colors' American release, by having the announcer's voice be the same as Sonic's voice actor of that region, except for Japan, to which Tatsuki Fumihiko remains the primary voice of the color powers. Some titles, such as Mario and Sonic at the 2014 Sochi Olympic Winter Games, seemingly use unused takes of the Wisp announcements. Although these titles would be designed to not include an announcer, new color powers would continue to be added and their name callouts would prove so iconic that they'd continue to be included regardless. They even made their way into the animated short Rise of the Wisps, meant to promote the 2021 release of Colors' HD reimagining, Sonic Colors Ultimate.
Want to stop me? You'll have to catch me first. Laser!
To this day, the Wisps remain a positive aspect of Sonic's modern history, a new set of gameplay styles with flair, and even with the franchise yet to collab with the superhero series it would pay homage to. It's clear that the Wisps aren't going away anytime soon.
Reach from stars.
The band Cash Cash became close with Sega and Sonic Team beginning with 2010's Sonic Colors. All three of the band's musicians had a hand in the creation of the game's main vocal theme, Reach for the Stars, with Alex and Samuel putting the lyrics together and John lending his voice to the track all the way in a studio in New Jersey. Reach for the Stars would be arranged by series veteran Tomoya Otani in Japan. Now apparently some fans believe the origin of the song dates back to Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 with the guitar track The Inlet supposedly carrying similar melodies, and the official truth of this is currently unknown. However, I listened to a comparison with the two put together and it sounded absolutely horrible. Reach for the Stars as a song attempts to replicate the bright colors, high energy, and excitable nature of the outing it represents in an audio format. The opening riff itself sounds as if it's a strobe light going off, the track giving both a confident and triumphant vibe. The lyrics telling of perseverance despite the odds. It uses the idea of an endless sky filled with stars and the desire to blast through them all to rocket higher than ever before, while mixing its meaning with the theming of the game. with the past titles, Sonic Unleashed and Sonic and the Black Knight, ending off with a Crush 40 theme, as well as a more laid-back rock theme. Reach for the Stars creates a bit of a distinction. Even with Sonic Unleashed being the second to last game to feature the voice cast from 4Kids, its theme, Endless Possibilities, gives an aura of finality to it, almost as if it's signaling the end of an era. When Reach for the Stars rings out the years following alongside its new voice cast, it's almost made clear that times are different. Sonic Colors would receive considerably stronger reviews compared to the titles that preceded it, and it seems as though Sega themselves were aware of this. Reach for the Stars would be played just about everywhere. Throughout its hosting game, Sonic Colors would of course be the track itself along with its many different variations, such as an underscore played during the results screen after a stage, as well as the orchestral version during the final boss fight against the Nega Wisp robot.
Final color blaster.
Reach for the Stars would then also be among the many unlockable music tracks available in 2011's Sonic Generations. In 2012's Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, Reach for the Stars would be utilized as the main theme for Sonic when the player would activate their signature All-Star move.
All-Star.
Then a year later in Sonic Lost World, the song would be used again if Sonic obtains the Speed Shoes power-up. However, Reach for the Stars would be thriving in 2019's Team Sonic Racing, where it again would be used as Sonic's main theme during his ultimate move, as well as receiving recognition in the form of a slight remix when playing the Ice Mountain stage, in which the track itself also heavily references the Cool Edge stage from Sonic Unleashed. Very fitting considering the music arranger for both Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Colors also being part of this project. Even more so with the theme One Way Dream from 2022's Sonic Frontiers. Close to the end of the song, a melody referencing Reach for the Stars is included during the guitar solo of the track. During the Sonic Symphony World Tour, Reach for the Stars can often be heard alongside many other different Sonic tracks. And as recently as 2024, during the Licensing Expo in Las Vegas, an event in which Sega put much of their advertising power into to promote the Sonic brand alongside other franchises, a drone show was held in the sky on opening night, with an orchestral rendition of Reach for the Stars playing across the area. If there's any other official place that you've heard Reach for the Stars playing, please leave them in the comments. It's really cool seeing how much this song has spread across the franchise. It's very clear that Reach for the Stars has had a strong influence in terms of music for the character following Sonic colors. Would you consider Reach for the Stars to be Sonic the Hedgehog's main character theme in the modern era? Voice what you think in the comments. As it stands, it doesn't seem as though the track's significance will be fading anytime soon, as the blue blur continues to reach new heights and new horizons regardless of how far they seem. Gogeta Super, Brandon, Helen, Emilia, Amanda, Austin, Chaco, Daniel, Ian, Julia, Luke, Matthew, Quirky Girl,